what's up? Welcome to the Charlie Creates Marketing Podcast, where we help you make your business significant through branding, marketing, and design. We help you reach more people, convert more leads, and change more lives. So glad that you can join me today. Don't forget to whack that subscribe button, man. Man, I feel like this feels so weird for me to tell people to do that, but I've got to do it because I don't want you to miss an episode. So don't forget to whack that subscribe button as hard as you can. We've got a pretty big episode today. We are going to look at some brilliant ads today, some more brilliant ads. We're going to roll the spam dice. I'll get to what that is in a minute. It's a new segment that I've created. And we're going to talk about how to beat the Instagram algorithm in 2021. I know a lot of you guys are really wanting to know how to do that, so I'm here to help you. Our ad for today is Wix.com. Many of you guys know a few weeks ago, my very first podcast dealt with Wix versus WordPress. If you want to go back and watch my first podcast, you'll learn more about the differences between Wix and WordPress. But I'm actually a Wix partner. You'll be able to find me actually in the Wix marketplace. But as a Wix partner, I can actually handle your hosting, your Wix hosting for you. And of course, I can help you design your website and take care of maintenance, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in how I can help you with your Wix hosting, what I can do for creating your website or for helping you with maintenance, boom, there it is. You can kind of see it. It's a little white going over my gray shirt, but go to charliecreates.marketing. The website is charliecreates.marketing, and you'll be able to find a request a quote form there, and I'd be happy to help you. That's right. First things first, we've got some brilliant ads.
Welcome to our ad agency. I'm Jerry Smith.
All right. This first ad does this very well. This is actually a good ad. I'm really sarcastic often with a lot of these, but sometimes, occasionally, I'll find a good ad that I want to show. I love this ad.
I want crinkle fries. $4 now at Arby's. Still got curlies at the Arby's.
Man, boy, does that take me back to high school, right? Early 2000s. Man, what was that band's name? I love that song. Sugar Ray. I love Sugar Ray. Arby's knows their target audience, man. They know that I'm their target audience. They know I love Sugar Ray. They know that every time they play that ad, it makes me want to go get crinkle fries just because of that song. Boy, do they know how to target me. It works. Good work, Arby's. This next ad, I don't know if it does that so well. I think this ad kind of struggles with its target. And I think you'll know what I mean really quickly. I have a hard time defining who their audience is here.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Of course your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
That's so
It's
you.
just up here on the right.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
That's so
I got a
you.
6 cents.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
Hit the field, warm up.
Look at all those
You
kids
brought all
coming out
these
of the car.
players in your Buick?
Yeah,
So you.
That's so
it
you.
is.
There's a Buick that fits your life. Because at the heart of every Buick
Heart of every
SUV is you.
Guess what? You. Oh, man. Don't you just love that? That's so you. That's so you. It's like every single time. It's like they are saying that you're their target audience because you're driving an SUV. It's like backwards. Instead of saying, hey, this is our target audience, we're going to go target them. It's like, oh, hey, because you drive an SUV, you are a target. That's so you. That's right, Buick. That is so you. That's so you, Buick. You've always had I've never really connected with your brand. That's so you. Oh, it's just, boy, just that's so you. I'm like, I watched that ad, I'm like, man, that's me. That's so me. I'm the person that does that. Anyway. Next up, we've got a new segment I know you guys are really excited for called the Spam Dice. You've been spammed. I made this dice for myself the other day. It's a dice that's got a bunch of stereotypical spam comments. You ever get one of these spam comments? Let's see what this one is. Awesome content. Great post, bro. Want to collab? You ever get one of those comments? Honestly, like, man, if you're somebody who's... Yeah, disclaimer here. If you're somebody who's a spam commenter, please send your spam comments my way. I need more comments, actually. I will gladly take them off the plate of somebody who is not a marketer. Please stop spamming normal people and normal businesses and spam me. Spam me, not in the DMs. Please not in the DMs. But my post can always use more comments. So if you want to throw some spam comments my way, you know, if you're looking for somebody to spam in the comment section, I'm your guy. But we all get kind of tired of these after a while, especially us normal folk. So I thought it'd be fun to just spam a bunch of random people. Actually, for this, I'm going to have to switch cameras. Got to switch my camera here. All right, what I'm going to do. Nobody was willing to put any of their friends up for this, so I'm going to have to pick on my family, I think. Mostly. I got to turn my Wi-Fi back on. First up, Kimberly. I'm coming for you. Let's see, Kimberly Russell. Let's see if we can pull this up here. There we go, we got this up here. We're going to roll the dice. Keep up the good work. Okay. Next up, I'm going for my brother Johnny. He's got this meme account. Hey, follow for follow? Awesome. Let's see if I can find Johnny. Oh, I can't remember his meme account. Oh, that's right. I'll spin this one. Let's stalk on this guy here. Look at that guy. That guy's pretty cool. Follow for follow. Oh wait, you gotta put the ice in. Your posts are great. Anyway, everybody would like to know how to beat the Instagram algorithm in 2021. I say 2021 because the Instagram algorithm in 2021 is a lot different than it was in 2020. And I think this is why a lot of people, they're kind of upset about this, man. They're like, you think it's going to be one thing and then it changes. It's like this. For those of you who aren't in the Instagram marketing world might be familiar with a lot of people who are upset about the Instagram algorithm, or maybe you've run a small little Instagram page and you've been like, why has it been so much harder for my post to reach more people? And it's sort of, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, let me try to explain it like this. It's like if you got hired to a new job. I know for a lot of you freelancers that's hard to picture, but imagine that you were hired for a job and you come into work in your first day, but you're not really sure like what you're supposed to do. Like, you know what your role is, but you don't really know what it is that you're supposed to do, at least to be successful. You go to your boss and you're like, hey, I'm really excited. I want to do great. I want to be successful at this job. Can you define for me, is there anything that's like, this is how to succeed at this job? Like, I really want to be, like, tell me about the brand, tell me about your philosophy, tell me about, like, what I need to do in order to be successful at this job. Because I'm a little bit new, I'm a little fresh. And your boss goes, well, we have a system. We have a way that we evaluate employees. And you're like, oh, hey, yeah, that's exactly what I need. What's the system? Tell me the system. Well, we can't tell you that. And you're like, why? Well, because if we told everybody how to be successful, then everybody would be successful. Okay. So you can't tell me what it is that no, I can't tell you what it is I'm supposed to do. Can you give me like, what do I need to do? What's the general thing that I need to do? Well, you're going to come here, you're going to work, and we're going to evaluate you and give you a score. And that's how we're going to evaluate your success at this company. But you can't tell me what it is. Nope. I mean, you'd be frustrated, right? You'd be like, what the heck? How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know what I'm doing? Do I have a value to measure? No, there's no value to measure. You're just stuck. You're just going to be evaluated however we want to evaluate you. You'd be pulling your hair out. You'd be like going to your friends being like, okay, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to be successful here? What's this way that they're going to evaluate us? Does anybody know? Nope, not us know. How do I know? Does it ever change? Yeah, it changes. I mean, after a while, you'd be saying this.
What do you want? What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
Graham algorithm, what do you want? Please tell us. Why are you keeping it a mystery, man? Don't you want us to be successful? What do you want? The worst part about it is that you work really hard for a year and you actually start seeing good scores. And you're like, okay, I think I figured out what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm doing the right thing. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, your numbers. And you're like, why are my numbers tanking? And they're like, oh, we didn't tell you. We changed our system. We measure success differently now. And you're going to all your friends like, what is it? What got changed? And your friends are like arguing with each other. Like, well, I did this and I got good marks. And then another person's like, yeah, that happened to me too. I did that and I got good marks. And then another person's like, actually, I did that and I got bad marks and I got completely different. We have no way of knowing what the algorithm actually is. It puts us in kind of a tough spot. That's why people are upset. And here's how, I think it's more about the change and how it's become more difficult over time to be successful on Instagram. Here's how it's changed just in the past year. Of course, we did have, we had a big election, we had COVID and everything going on. So it does kind of stand to reason that that sort of explains how that would change in such a drastic way. But in the past year, there was somebody actually asked on my Instagram page, asked everybody, what's the worst thing about Instagram? Somebody actually responded. Hey, sorry about those technical issues. I try to record my podcast live, and apparently there were some technical issues with the recording that I wasn't aware of. So I thought I'd try to pick up where the podcast started breaking up for this recording. At the spot that it starts breaking up, I was talking about how there was somebody on my Instagram who I asked in a post on my Instagram, what's the worst thing about Instagram? And somebody said that the worst thing about Instagram was the decline of the reach from hashtags. There was a few months last year that Instagram took down all recent posts on all hashtags. And even after they brought it back, the reach from that we no longer see the reach that we used to have from hashtags. We used to be able to get a lot more. In my personal experience, it's been about using the same hashtags get me about 10% of the reach that they used to be. that's a real struggle for a lot of us Instagram marketers. That's just one of the ways that the Instagram algorithm has become harder in the past year. Another way is they introduce Reels because they're trying to keep up with TikTok, and they put a lot of boosts into Reels. They favored Reels, but they favored them at the expense of some of the older now forms of content, like normal forms of content like pictures and videos and other videos and carousels, which carousels used to be the new feature that was the end feature for Instagram. Now it's become Reels, and that sort of helped. While it helps people to use Reels, it hurts people who don't use Reels and were still using the older forms of content. A third way that the Instagram algorithm has gotten worse in the past year is that it just generally it's become harder to reach more people, and that's something that just is going to continue to happen because Instagram's always going to be changing their algorithm so that more people, so that it forces people to create better content. So that's why that's the real reason why their algorithm is always changing. But if we want to try to beat the Instagram algorithm, we want to try to reach as many people as we can, we got to start with what we know. And there are 3 things that we know about the Instagram algorithm. And we know these things to be true for 3 reasons. Either one, because there's things that Instagram has admitted, they're like general things that Instagram actually has admitted about their algorithm. The second reason is because the data just is undeniable. There's just, it's really clear from the data that's clearly all kinds of Instagram marketers that have done research over this kind of thing. The data is really clear that works. Or a third reason, it just makes a lot of, to combine those two, it makes a lot of sense. You can understand why Instagram's algorithm would work that way. The first thing that we know about Instagram's algorithm is that it favors engagement. And a lot of people have said that your posts start off with 10% engagement. Well, actually, I've seen some posts. I'm sorry, I should correct that. So a lot of people have said that your posts are automatically shown to 10% of your followers. I've actually seen posts reach less than 10% of my followers, but those posts had an engagement rate. If you're comparing it to the amount of people it reached, about 15% of the people, less than 15% of the people that engaged with it, less than 15%, I'm mixing up the numbers, less than 15% of the people that the post reached engaged with it. And if less than 15% engaged with it, then it would actually get less than 10% of my followers. But if around 15% engaged with it, it would get about 10% of my followers. And if it was beyond that, if it was 20%, it would actually reach more. And I think I can't confirm that for sure, but that's just been my personal experience, is that around 15% or more engagement will help you reach more in your post. Another thing that's really interesting about the Instagram algorithm is that it actually favors comments. I've heard a lot of people try to say that. I don't know if Instagram's ever actually come out and admitted that or not, but I had a post just a couple weeks ago. I had a post that got a bunch of likes and maybe only a couple of comments. And then the next day I posted something that got not nearly as many likes, but it had a significant amount of comments. And it had like 10 comments or something like that. And Instagram told me that post was performing 85% better than my previous posts. So that tells you that Instagram really does favor comments. Now, what's interesting about that is that post didn't actually reach as many people because the actual engagement rate wasn't as high, but it's still important because Instagram thinks that that's more valuable. And the next couple of posts that I made, you could tell that Instagram kind of gave those an extra little boost because it did felt like that I was getting some good engagement from my previous posts. And that it makes sense that Instagram would favor, that's the only real metric they have to know that people like somebody's content. So they're going to reward that. That's really a no-brainer. Everybody can understand that Instagram's algorithm would favor posts that engage well. The second thing we know about the algorithm is that it favors consistency. Now, there's all kinds of debate about how to define what consistency is. Is it posting once a week? Is it posting every day? Is it posting twice a day? Well, I don't know if there's a real definitive... Instagram's never given us a definitive answer on what consistency looks like. And I've heard different people say that different consistencies have worked differently for them. And so you might have to figure out what works for you. But I mean, it's a no-brainer that generally speaking, if you consistently post good content, Instagram's going to like that. If you regularly post, and some people say at the same time, if you're always posting at the same time, regularly, and getting good engagement, then Instagram's going to like that because it wants people to keep making more content. It wants people to make as much good content as they can, basically, right? So the more you can consistently make good content, it's going to reward you for that. And it's you might have to sort of find out what works for you. You got to figure out how often can I actually consistently post good content, and you got to sort of work from there. You'll dig yourself in a hole if you think I got to post like 2 times a day or 3 times a day, and you post 2-3 times a day, and then all of a sudden one day you can't post 3 times in a day. You only post once. You're gonna hurt your engagement significantly. But it might not be as bad as if you're posting once a day. So it's just something you got to sort of figure out on your own. We know that Instagram favors consistency. It's just really hard to define what consistency is. The third thing we know about Instagram's algorithm is that it favors Reels. And I should clarify this further. Instagram favors new features. Right now it's Reels. Reels is the new feature that Instagram is favoring. But in the past, it was like before Reels, it was carousel posts. Carousel posts were a brand new feature, and Instagram was favoring that all over the place. Now, carousel posts aren't getting favored as much because Reels are the new feature that Instagram was to favor. So, and that makes sense because Instagram is going to Instagram wants people to like their new features. So, and I mean, they're obviously introducing them for a reason. Obviously, they're trying to keep up with TikTok, so they're going to try to promote Reels more because they want to look like they're just as good as TikTok, basically. So, you should post Reels, but what's interesting I've found, and personally, I've seen a lot more push from Instagram when I made a reel in the app versus recording something on my phone and then posting it as a reel, or making a video and then posting it as a reel. And I think there's something to be that kind of makes sense because Instagram wants you to use their app for stuff as much as you can. They want to show their features, right? So, and I'm talking about like adding a 0 to my reach, adding a 0. 10 times as much reach when I make a reel through the app as opposed to making it on my phone or in Premiere Pro. there might be some exceptions to that rule if somebody's, I think I did read somewhere that they don't want, if you use the TikTok logo in your reel, they're going to punish it significantly. I've read. I've never tried that, but or tested that out, but that makes sense. And they really want their reels to be in really high quality, or their app basically. So unless you're making some real high quality videos, maybe you definitely want to be trying to making your reels in your app. But those are 3 things that we know about the Instagram algorithm and how it promotes your posts. And it's interesting, an important thing to note is also how the Instagram algorithm works on the posts that you see. What it does, Instagram wants you to see content that you like because it wants you to keep using its app. So so if you like something, they say, hey, this guy likes this guy's content, so we should keep showing him more of this guy's content. If you see somebody's content and don't like it, it goes, this guy doesn't seem to like this guy's content, and it makes us wonder if this guy's content is really as good. So a lot of the posts that you see on your feed are, it's obviously trying to figure out what you like to see in your feed. A lot of the posts that you see in your feed are from pages whose posts you've liked a lot. So by the way, that means that, let's twist this around here for a second. If you want to hurt a small business, scroll past their posts. The easiest way for you to hurt a small business is to just scroll past their post. If when you scroll past a post, you are telling Instagram not only that you don't want to see more of their content, not only that post, that you think that more people shouldn't see that post, you're also telling it that you think that person's account should be shown to less people. So if you want to hurt somebody's account, scroll past their posts. If you want to support somebody, like their posts, comment on their posts. It's a pretty, a like doesn't really cost you a whole lot. If you really want to support somebody, like and comment on their posts. It's the easiest way you can support a small business and help them get the word out about the things that they do. Especially right now with COVID and everything, we really should be trying to support small businesses as much as we can. So that's an interesting little side note there on the Instagram algorithm. And how it works. So now we know how it works, but how do we beat it? Well, the reality is there's only one way to beat the Instagram algorithm. Everybody wants to try to come up with hacks, right? Everybody wants to come up with ways to beat the system. The reality is you can't really beat the system. The Instagram will figure out that people are beating the system and then come up with a new way to crush that, because they don't want people to spam. They want people to keep posting they want people to keep posting. They want to reward good content. Instagram wants to reward good content. And also, a further conspiracy here, Instagram wants you to pay to promote your post. That's how they make money. So of course they're going to make it harder to reach more people. Of course they're going to continue to make it harder. Of course they're going to try to make it harder for you to reach more. I've seen an increasing number of large name Instagram accounts start paying to promote their post, because that's what Instagram is trying to do. They want you to have to pay to promote your post, unless you're really good, and then they're going to reward you for being really good. So the only way to beat the Instagram algorithm is to have better content. And when I say better, I mean more engaging. You got to have content that is better and more engaging. if you really want to beat the Instagram algorithm. There's really no other way. I've heard people try to talk about the big buzz right now is ghost followers, right? Well, you gotta remove your ghost followers, and that's why you're not getting as many likes in your post. I'm gonna be honest, straight up, I don't buy that. I think ghost followers are a myth, and here's why. First of all, like I said, if somebody doesn't like your post, you know what happens? They aren't sent they don't see your content as much. Instagram stops showing your content to them if they don't like your posts. So I don't think that's the real reason why you're not getting likes. Second of all, ask people with 100,000 followers if they need to get rid of their ghost followers. Do they get 100,000 likes on every post? No. That doesn't seem like a very scalable way to grow your Instagram. And riddle me this. I had a post not too long ago, had almost 100 likes. A couple days later, I make a post and got 10 likes. Do you think that's because of ghost followers? Or do you think that's because my post wasn't as good as the 100 like post? My money's on the latter. I think the reason that my post didn't perform as well is because the content wasn't as good. It wasn't as engaging as the post that did really well. So if you want to beat the Instagram algorithm, there's only one way, and that's you've got to make better, more engaging content. That's how it works at the end of the day. And it's always going to be like that. Instagram's always going to be tougher. It's always going to get tougher to reach more people. And you're always going to be having to make better content if you want to reach more people. That's just, unless you're going to spend money. And that's kind of how it works. So I hope that answers a lot of questions you have about the Instagram algorithm. If you have more questions, please leave me a comment or send me a DM or something. And I'd love to answer any questions you have. I'd love to help you however I can. And thank you so much for watching the Charlie Creates Marketing Podcast. I hope this helps you make your business significant through branding, marketing, and design. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button as hard as you can. Knock its teeth out, man. Subscribe. I don't want you to miss an episode. After tonight, I am having a lot of second thoughts about going live after watching my podcast crash like this. But I think I am probably going to keep premiering my podcast at the same time that I have been on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube. So keep a lookout for same time in the future, and hopefully next week my podcast doesn't crash. All right. Thanks, guys.